This police officer is giving a car ticket, when suddenly the owner of the car appears and catches her eye. The woman turns around to find him tearing up the ticket. The man wants to know what it means, and she explains that he is being fined for parking in a handicapped spot, but the man doesn't care and continues tearing up the ticket. So the police officer, totally calm, says that she is going to give him another ticket for contempt of authorities, and he continues not caring, also tearing up that fine. He starts asking her if she knows who she's talking to. That just makes the officer giggle, wondering if he happens to be the prince. Then he tells her that she is talking to the major's son, and probably his mother is even that policewoman's boss. She is not shaken, and says that he should be more polite, since he is the son of an officer. She says that even so he is disrespecting her, and he should have more respect for her, since she is an officer. The man laughs and says that she really doesn't know who she is talking to end up disrespecting him like that. The woman says that it doesn't matter whose son he is, but that she is doing her job, that he parked in a prohibited place. She says that she has already fined him, that he can tear it up and do whatever he wants with that paper, it is already registered in the system anyway. Then she leaves the two men alone there, and goes back to her work, giving a ticket for another car that is parked in an illegal place. But the man doesn't want to let that go unnoticed, and starts to want to torment the woman, while she is doing her job. He comes up behind her and keeps watching her. The police officer pushes him away as soon as she realizes his presence. And a man ends up seeing everything that is happening from afar. And the man asks her in a suggestive way if she didn't like that, but soon the man pushes him and tells him to respect the police officer, because she's just doing her own job. But the man doesn't like the attitude of that gentleman, and pushes him, calling him a beggar. The gentleman explains that he is only trying to help the officer, but the man tries to pick a fight with that man, but is prevented by the police officer, and yet the man continues pushing the man, until he knocks him to the ground. And the man calls the man disgusting, saying he has no respect for people. And the woman, tired of that man's attitudes, gives him the voice of arrest, handcuffing the man and ordering him to be silent, because anything he says can be used against him. She says that he has the right to an attorney, and if he doesn't have money, the public defender's office will contact him. His friend, who is watching from afar, tries to act somehow and approaches her, threatening to beat her if she doesn't let go of his friend. But the woman questions whether he is threatening a police officer. They both begin to play with the officer, making fun of her work without feeling any pity. But when the man is going to throw the piece of wood, it hits the man who was leaving, and he falls unconscious on the floor. The police officer rushes to help the unconscious man, while those two friends just watch everything from afar, totally silent and not knowing what to do. The officer helps the man and asks if everything is okay, but he can't even answer, totally confused after being hit in the head. She quickly grabs her phone to call the emergency services, in order to ask for help for the gentleman. The two friends take the opportunity to then run away from there as fast as possible, getting into the car under the protests of the police officer, ordering them to come back. The man inside the car is desperate, afraid that all the blame will fall on him, so he decides to call his mother, so that she can solve everything at once. His friend says that he will call his mother, and then everything will be blame on him. But the man says that there won't be any blame to anyone, because his mother will solve everything. But the friend keeps telling him that she will only solve it for his friend, and the man keeps telling him to stay calm, and tells him to wait while he calls his mother. Soon his mother answers and asks what happened to him. Then he says he needs his mother's help, because there is a police officer who is on his tail and is trying to harm him. The mother asks what happened, and the son just asks his mother to come over, asking if it is possible for her to come to him. Meanwhile, the officer, after calling the emergency, starts telling them to get out of the car right away. They don't get out at first, so she opens the car door herself and pulls the man out. The friend takes the opportunity to run away, but the man warns the officer that he is running away, and the police officer says that he can leave it to her, because she will still find a way to arrest the other one as well. and the friend who was running away ends up stumbling, but gets up and starts running, even limping, trying to escape from that problem. The police officer orders the prisoner to sit on the sidewalk, then she calls the ambulance again, desperate with the state of the gentleman who was hit, but she is told that there is no ambulance, and so she gets very worried. She ends up catching the man in the act trying to escape, but says she won't let him go, because he needs to pay. But the man says that she should be in that post, that she doesn't even know what she is doing. But the woman orders him to have more respect for her. The man, totally sexist, says that her post is not for women, and questions what she is doing there. This makes the woman even angrier, ordering that man to respect her. Soon a woman approaches and questions what is happening there. The son recognizes his mother immediately, and the police officer asks if she is the major mother of that citizen. She answers yes and wants to know why she's arresting her son. The son plays the victim, saying he doesn't know what happened to the police officer. The mother orders the police officer to release her son, but the police officer says that he is wrong, that the son tried to disrespect her, assaulted a good citizen, and even parked in an illegal place. But the mother doesn't believe the police officer's words, saying that it's just a pretext to arrest her son. But the mother doesn't want to hear it and tells her to release her son. The police officer ends up releasing the man, and the mother asks if her son is all right. Then the police officer walks over to the injured citizen and helps him up. She questions what happened, saying that someone canceled the ambulance order, and asks if everything is okay with the man. He answers that everything is fine, that he just needs to rest a little to get better. The police officer apologizes, saying that she tried to help, but the culprit was eventually released. But you say that things will not stay like this, and he will solve this, saying that boy will not disrespect her anymore. He goes to the mother and her son, and talks to her, telling her that her son was disrespecting the police officer. That's why this whole episode happened. And the mother wants to know what that gentleman is doing there. The son angrily asks who he is and orders him to get out of there. But the gentleman is not shaken and tells the whole truth to his mother, saying that her son disrespected the police officer, tried to run away when she arrested him, and even threw a piece of wood on his head, and he ended up fainting on the sidewalk. He says that her son is very spoiled, and that his mother needs to educate him more, because it all started when he parked in an improper place. He says that her son is spoiled and was wrong, and that the police officer is right. The son starts to stutter, saying that it's all a lie, but his mother can't believe him. Soon the police officer approaches him with his friend, who ends up on the officer's side, and says that all this really happened, and that the two friends were wrong. The man tells his friend to shut up, but the friend continues to reveal the truth, saying that they were wrong, and ended up playing the prank with the piece of wood, and ended up hitting the gentleman's head. Then the mother, furious, says that because her son lied and caused all that scene, he has no authority to do anything, so the police officer can arrest the two friends, because they are both wrong. And the friend says that it's only fair that they be arrested, because they deserved it. The police officer thanks the major, and continues with the arrest of those two, while the son continues to object, begging his mother not to let this happen. But she is adamant, knowing that he is wrong and must pay for his crimes. The police officer then questions who canceled the ambulance, and the friend answers that it was him. The gentleman from afar thanks her for her help, saying that he is very proud of her and professionals like her.